You've seen it, right? If you spend any time online, it feels like this new gold rush is happening. You've got one camp screaming that you can get rich with just a few clicks using AI, and then you've got the other side saying, nope, only old-fashioned hustle is going to pay the bills. So what's the real story? Who's right? Well, that's what we're going to figure out today. We're going to cut right through all that noise.
So let's start with perspective number one, the high-tech promise. And this quote from investor Dan Martell just nails it. His whole idea, it's pretty simple, but wow, is it powerful. He is saying the game has completely changed. It's not about grinding more hours anymore. Forget that. The new way to get rich, it's all about mastering these AI tools that give you, like, superhuman leverage. They let you automate everything, scale up, and earn way more while actually working less. Sounds pretty good, right?
Okay, but is it really that simple? I mean, can you just download some fancy software and poof, the money starts rolling in? Or is there more to it? Does a powerful tool still need, a solid idea and some real-world effort to actually work? That is the big question we're tackling. All right, so to get to the bottom of all this, here's our game plan. First up, we're diving into the promise of this amazing AI toolkit. Then, we're going to come crashing back down to earth and look at a real-world test of these so-called hustles. And finally, we'll put it all together and give you the final verdict on building wealth right now.
Okay, let's kick things off with the promise. See, according to Dan Martell, the goal here isn't just about using a few cool tools. No, it's way bigger than that. It's about building a fully automated money machine. We're talking about systems that make you money 24/7, even when you're sleeping.
And the core idea behind all this is something called workflow automation. Basically, the whole point is to buy back your most valuable asset, your time. Think about all those boring, repetitive tasks that just eat up your day. By automating them, you free yourself up to focus on the stuff that actually moves the needle. Strategy, being creative, building relationships, the high-value stuff.
And here's where it gets really practical. This is a perfect example. So think about onboarding a new client. It can be a pain, right? Well, with a tool like n8n.io, the second a client pays you, this whole chain of events just kicks off automatically. They get a welcome email, an invite to your community, even a text message to schedule their first call. And the best part? You build this system once, and it just runs on its own forever. It's pretty amazing. But wait, simple automation? That's just scratching the surface. The next level of leverage is actually creating your very own custom tools. And get this, without writing a single line of code. Just imagine that for a second. Building a real working app just by describing it in plain English. And that's not science fiction. That's where tools like Lovable.dev come into play. You can literally just type in a prompt, something like, I need a landing page for my AI automation agency that helps plumbers. And bam, it spits out a whole website for you. It can even create forms, slide decks, take payments, the whole shebang. And like Martell says, apps are the new spreadsheets. They're becoming that fundamental tool you just need to have. And this whole system building idea, it goes way, way beyond just building apps. You can apply the same logic to pretty much every single part of your business. We're talking sales, networking, finance, even hiring. So check this out. This is basically how you can build an entire business operating system with AI. You've got tools like Revio, which acts like an AI co-pilot for sales right in your DMs. Then there's socialsweep.ai, which finds you the absolute best way to get introduced to important people. You've got hellofrank.ai, acting like a finance co-pilot, spotting where you're wasting money. And even herohire.ai to automate your recruiting. It's a whole toolkit designed for maximum leverage.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty incredible, right? The AI toolkit is powerful, no doubt. But what about the other side of this whole debate? Let's switch gears and get a major reality check. We're going to look at an experiment from a creator named Deval Kateria. He went out and tested some of the most popular passive income side hustles to see if any of them, actually work. And wow, right off the bat, the results are just stark. It's night and day. On one end, you've got online surveys, which he basically called a complete scam. And on the total opposite end, you have becoming a virtual assistant, a real role with some serious income potential. It just shows this massive gap between doing a low-effort, low-reward task and providing a real, valuable service that someone actually needs. Let's just stop and think about this number for a second. 4 rupees. After 10 minutes of mind-numbing, soul-crushing survey work, that's what he earned. We're talking pennies. It is the perfect example of a hustle that is just not worth your time. At all. Okay, now let's flip it. Compare that 4 rupees to this, 45,000 rupees a month. That's the potential of being a virtual assistant.
I mean, that's a really solid monthly salary in India. And where does it come from? From providing a valuable, skilled service that clients are more than happy to pay good money for. So this scorecard really lays it all out, and the pattern here is crystal clear. Look at this so-called passive ideas, like AI voice cloning or selling digital templates. They made zero, absolutely nothing. But then you look at the service-based hustles, things like coaching or creating those AI avatar reels for clients, and they show massive potential. The takeaway couldn't be clearer. The only hustles that actually worked were the ones that solved a real problem for a real person. And yeah, this quote from him just says it all. He said, "This way of making money was definitely not lazy. The hustles that made real money, they took real work. They required skill, they required research, and most importantly, they required providing actual value. It was the opposite of lazy." All right, so we've looked at two really powerful perspectives, right? On one hand, you have Dan Martell's world of building systems with amazing AI tools. On the other, you have Dhaval Katakoria's reality check about finding a real-world hustle that provides value. So what's the verdict? Well, it turns out it's not about choosing one or the other. The real magic happens when you combine them. And that brings us to what I think is the real formula for building wealth today. First, you start with the lesson from the hustle experiment. You have to find a real problem that people will actually pay you to solve. And then you develop a valuable skill to solve it. But then, and this is the key, you bring in the lesson from the AI toolkit. You use those incredible tools to automate and scale your solution. You take your hustle and you apply a systems mindset to it. And that right there is the big takeaway. It's not tools versus hustle. It's never been about that. The real path forward is hustle amplified by tools. I mean, think about it. A virtual assistant who uses AI to do research faster, that's a more valuable VA. A content creator who uses AI to write better scripts, they're going to be more effective. It's a force multiplier. So at the end of the day, the most important question you can ask for your career isn't, what's the hot new tool I should use? No. The real question is, what problem am I uniquely suited to solve? Because once you figure that out, once you know the problem you can solve, trust me, the tools are all there, just waiting to help you solve it at a scale you probably never even dreamed was possible. And that's the real secret to this new gold rush.